Yeah, you know, I mean, like I told like them and them. I'm from a small hood in Marcy.
All right. So we got Joey Diaz, True Friendship at a memorial service, right? Actually, Joey shouted us out.
Big shout out to Joey.
Big shout out to Joey.
That's a fact.
He shouted us out. I think he's seen what was that? What was that one?
The joke he did on his mom.
Yeah, the one he did with his mom.
Yeah.
About her not knowing that he got left back. Yeah. And he gave us a shout out on Twitter too. You know.
Fact. Shout out to Joey. Show him mad love.
He told us to stay black. Much love.
Fact.
We don't
got
really
no choice, but
yeah, we don't really have a choice.
right,
Yeah,
we all doing it.
Yeah.
Good looking, Joey.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Let's get it, Joey Diaz.
You know, when I was a kid, my mom had a bar and she was popular, so she had a lot of like girlfriends that hung out with like hot girls. But there was this one chick that she used to be kind of tight with that I couldn't fucking understand. With the friendship, like they would be on the phone all day, they would talk 5 times a day. If my mother was in the city, she would stop by her house. And then as I got older, I got the backstory that they knew each other in Cuba. And then this lady's name was Z. That's what we're gonna call her for this fucking story. Because the names have changed to protect the innocent, all that shit.
Well, he said the name was Z.
Yeah, he said her name was Z for now. That's what we're gonna call her. 'Cause, you know,
Protect the innocent.
I don't get it.
I don't know what to.
I don't
Something about
get
to
it.
have something crazy.
Oh, okay. People go up in the comments. How don't you
They
get
came
this?
from Cuba. Z married some dude, went to Chicago. My mom opted, went to New York. And like 6 months into the marriage, the guy was beating the hell out of Z. And my mom and my dad drove down there and saved her in the middle of the night and took her to New York. And she was indebted to him. And this is like 1960. And,
damn.
you know, as long as I remember, my mom used to go there. I liked going over to where she lived because she went on to become a huge drug dealer in New York, right? On 113th and 5th Avenue in the mouth of Spanish motherfucking Harlem, right? And it was scary. It was like The Walking Dead. You see, like, Puerto Ricans walking around, people fucking nodding on the sidewalks. It was just amazing as a little kid to see this.
Amazing.
Fuck the circus and the zoo. These are real fucking animals. Like, laying in their own puke and shit. It's fucking tremendous. So, I like going there too because she always give me like a 20 or a 50. As young as I was, she always dropped, and she always did a blast of coke, no matter where the fuck she was. You understand me? So I would go over there, she'd pick me up, kiss me, and then go in her bra, do a line, and ask me how school was, and she went to my first communion. She did a bump kneeling down and a bump like that. She don't give a fuck. That's a real crazy lady. Not one of these ladies with a tattoo and a hat with a feather. I'm so crazy. No, you're not, right?
Yo, people that be like, I'm crazy, dead ass don't be crazy.
don't be crazy.
You're not crazy. Oh, I'm crazy. No, the fuck you're not.
Just be stupid as
Yeah, man. With a feather and a hat.
You're not. You go to yoga at Studio City. You ain't that fucking crazy, all right? Fucking crazy. Go to yoga in Compton, bitch, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, word.
So, go into her house, guys. She lived on the 2nd floor of a bodega. And this is in the mid-70s. You know, you knocked on Z's door, and the black guy opened the door, and he pointed you to the back. And I knew I would run to the back, and she lived she had like maybe 3 rooms, you know, like a living room, but where she sold coke out of and heroin was this little room that had like beads in the front, like, you know, you
I know
opened it up
exactly
and
what you're
shit.
talking
I
And
love
she'd
those
be in there
shits.
watching like novellas with a scale, a bag of coke, a gun, and a motherfucking chihuahua. You understand?
Chihuahua?
Who fuck?
I used to love entering a room with those beats because I used to feel like Prince. I'm like Rick James and shit.
Right. You felt like you was in like some spiritual world.
Yeah,
or
so,
some
like,
shit, right?
I'll be like, I'll enter the room and I'll be like, give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Like, you know, I felt like I was the man, you know?
Bust dude, like,
Oh,
some
yeah.
school nigga. With the incense, they always
Yeah,
have
with the
incense in
incense
there.
shit was
Like,
fire,
beads in the front,
son.
You know, you opened it up and shit, and she'd be in there watching like novellas with a scale, a bag of coke, a gun, and a motherfucking chihuahua. You understand?
Like the way
Who
you say that.
fucking has a chihuahua for protection? And she was dark Cuban, so she had big tits and an ass. Like, she was good looking, but she had blonde hair that was tight. 30 years before Little Kim. I mean, she was way ahead of her.
30 years
Finally, like in the 8th or 9th grade, I figured out, they were just good friends. They spoke all the time. Then my mom died. And she was the first phone call I made. And she was the first one there, She made all the funeral arrangements. You motherfuckers been to regular viewings with Gentiles where they sit around and cry and it's like, oh, he was such a great man. That's great. That's great. Then there's Irish fucking wakes where people are drinking and cursing, but then there's Cuban wakes. That makes an Irish wake look like a fucking daycare, okay? They drink 24, and it's open 24 hours. 24 hours funeral parlor, and anything goes. People are doing lines, people are arguing, people playing dominoes, people playing fucking dominoes at my mother's fucking wake, okay? And the first night, I hear this commotion, and I go in the hallways. Z had the funeral director by the throat because she put the wrong dress on my mother. That is a fucking friend, motherfucker, right? Like, because anybody could be your fucking friend when you're alive. But to fucking be at your funeral smacking motherfuckers, right? That's a friend, right?
Yeah, man, that's real shit, man. That's what I've always appreciated about the Hispanic community. They're very loyal. You know what I mean? They're loyal people, man. They ride or die for theirs. And shout out to all the Hispanic people out there, man.
Shout y'all out. But yeah, that's a friendship.
Yeah, that's a fucking friend, And she was checking people, like, hey, fuck you. You didn't like her, and she didn't fucking like you.
Facts.
She was checking people, and all these people in there, oh, we loved it, and all this shit. You didn't hear shit from this lady. You didn't hear a word. There was no fakeness out of her. Right there, I learned what fake was and what real was. At that early age, I learned it. I saw it. Like, people come up to me, oh my God, if you need anything. And after my mom died, I call them and they changed their fucking phone number. Just little things that I saw right there. And I decided, oh my God, that's what a fake person is. I loved your mother. Oh God, take me. All that shit. The whole fucking 4 days of the wake, Z didn't say shit. She would every once in a while just sit in the back and just take a little bump out of her bra. And look at me and go, and she would just watch what was going on. And she was such a woman, like, men would be having conversation. I'm not talking about regular fucking guys. I'm talking about Latin, old school, machismo motherfuckers. And she would go tell them shit, like, shut the fuck up. Like, even they were scared of her. And I observed all this, like, how she had taken over from my mother. And then the last night, my mom got buried on a Monday. And that Sunday, I went outside to smoke a joint. Whatever the fuck you go outside of a wake for, to get air. And when I came back, she was alone with my mother. It was the first time they were alone together. And she was kneeling down. And that's where I got it. She was petting her hair. And she was telling her how beautiful she was. And how the world wasn't going to be the same without her. And how she was going to miss her. She was her sister. And it was just fucking mind-boggling. And then she said, and she turned, like, she knew I was there. And she goes, I'm going to take care of this motherfucker. I'm going to take care of him. I'm going to watch over him. I'm going to make sure he grows up to be a fucking man. And I saw the meaning of friendship right there when Z was petting the fucking hair and doing bumps. She did a fucking bump right there, right? She did a bump. Looking at the casket, she's like, I'd give you one, but...
Too young. I'm high, but I'm responsible. I'm responsibly high. I'm high as shit, but I'm not that high. Maybe gotta do a little bit more bumps before I give you a bump. But I'm responsible. Right?
Yo, I fuck with this shit, man.
Yeah, I fuck with that. That's real shit.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Real, like, friendship right there. You could tell, like, she wasn't... She probably already got all her emotions out. You know how people go to funerals and they just want to be extra and they want to make it about them.
Yeah.
All loud.
Yeah, all loud as shit. Yeah.
They just can't control the motherfucking selves.
Yeah.
I guess she was like, she came to terms with it. She dealt with it.
Yeah.
That's my fucking friend. So you could tell he was getting emotional too.
I'm just afraid of what this man gonna say next. Like, you never know with this fucking guy, man.
Right?
He gonna be like, yeah, and then fucking.
And it's funny.
She sucked my dick at the funeral. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's when I knew. Like you don't know what the fuck this dude
That's
gonna
what
say.
I knew was true friendship.
That's what I mean. Like, your mom will always want you to have this emotion.
And I did a bump. I did the bump with her. Like. He's fucking crazy, dog.
Shout out
What's the
to-
difference at this point? But then it was after that. She stuck to her fucking word. Every Sunday, she'd come over from Long Island and meet me at Weehawken Cemetery. And she'd bring a bottle of Dewar's, flowers, and she'd pour the bottle of Dewar's out and tell my mother how much she loved her and she missed her. And she'd do some bumps. And by that time, I was doing coke. And she would like do bumps into the spirit. Like, here's a couple for you. And I'd be like, no, give them fucking things to me. You're gonna fucking throw them on the grass. It's $20 a fucking blast there. $20, $20, $20. Stop it already. Give it to me. Stop it already. Give it to me. So this went on. She took care of me, guys, from 79 till 83 till I got out of high school. Every fucking Sunday, 200 fucking beans. And she'd bring me weed, a little $5 nickel bag from the city. And then in 83, I moved to Colorado, and, you know, I got into craziness and shit. But I always called her twice a week. I would send her pictures, you know. And then I moved back to Jersey. And by that time, I was a fucking lunatic, you know, and cocaine had absorbed me and stuff. And I kept in touch with her. I would go into the city once a week and take her for a Cuban sandwich. There was a place on 118th Street we walked. And I went to Miami, and I found some friends of hers, and I beat them for like a half a kilo. And I just felt fucking bad. You know how it is, dog. One bump leads into another. Next thing you know, you're having a party. Next thing you know, you did 6 ounces of blow. It's a fucking nightmare, you know what I'm saying? And there's no rehabs, there's no hugs, you know. They don't give a fuck, you know, that's it. So I felt embarrassed. When I came back from Miami and I had fucked these people over, I felt embarrassed, so I didn't call. I didn't call her for like 5 months. And in January of 85, I finally got a little sober, and I called her one day, and I goes, Z, what's going on? And she's like, where the fuck have you been? She goes, you haven't called me in like 5 months. She goes, the cops raided me, they took everything. She goes, my leg broke, and there was nobody here for me.
Oh, shit.
And I felt fucking terrible. I let my mother down, I let myself down, I let Z down. And I was at a payphone, I just dropped the fucking payphone. It was like a kick in my stomach, like she had just said, you know, where the fuck were you for me? For all those years I was there for you, and you just disappeared on me. And I just felt terrible, and I walked away from the payphone. I didn't call her for about a week or two, and then I finally called, and the phone was disconnected. And I went over to the bodega a few times, and they told me that she got busted, and they closed the apartment, and I never talked to her again. And I felt like shit, and I live with that today.
Damn. That's fucked up.
I love this man's fucking bits, yo. I love this dude's stand-up, son. Like, he brings me to these places that I don't really go during a stand-up, man. Like, laughter, regret, sadness, you know. Like, he brings me excitement, anxious. Like, he brings me everywhere. Like, this dude, like, yo, real OG right here. You know what the fuck you doing?
Real shit, though. This ain't
Yeah.
even really a bit.
Yeah.
It's just like he's just going on stage and just telling his life.
Yeah, and
He's
it just
making it light.
yeah.
But at the same time, the shit is emotional. At the same
Yeah,
time, so.
and it can just appear to be funny
Yeah.
at some moment. It's crazy, man.
When I didn't call her for about a week or two, and then I finally called, and the phone was disconnected. And I went over to the bodega a few times, and they told me that she got busted, and they closed the apartment, and I never talked to her again. And I felt like shit, and I live with that today. And that was 1985, you know, and I thought about it, and I digested it, and I swore to God that if I ever had a chance to be a friend to somebody, because you don't need 20 friends, you just need 3 motherfuckers, and you can take over a country. Okay, that's what we're confused as Americans. We think we need all these motherfuckers. You give me 3 bad motherfuckers, and you're finished. You understand me? You're fucking finished, because we got each other. And you know, listen, man. Like Ari's my fucking goombot to the end. He might be a Jew or whatever, and I'm Cuban, but that's my fucking goombot, and he knows that's why I'm here. Not because whatever, but, you know, I promised that I would be a friend to people, and I would live and die for them. And, you know, when I look at people now, I always look at people sometimes and I go, how's that motherfucker gonna feel when I die? Is he gonna be talking shit at my funeral? Or is he gonna squeeze my daughter and come see her every week and give her a toy? You know, and that's how I have to look at people. That's how I was raised, you know. And I always live with that guilt of not doing something for my friend. And then in 2007, I got off the blow. I quit doing cocaine. Don't ask, you know, don't clap. Nobody's supposed to do it anyway, you know. People are like, I'm off drugs. You're an asshole. You're not supposed to do drugs anyway, okay? Don't fucking fucking break your arm,
Press
tapping
pause.
yourself in the back.
I know this is gonna be like niggas be like Black Lives Matter. Yes, invite him to the cookout. Duh. It always mattered. Like the fuck.
Quit doing cocaine. Huh? Don't ask. Don't clap. Nobody's supposed to do it anyway. People are like, I'm off drugs. You're an asshole. You're not supposed to do drugs anyway. Okay. Don't fucking break your arm tapping yourself in the back, asshole. So,
Whew, that was a fireball. You heard that?
right or wrong, these motherfuckers
Don't
walk
break
around
your
with
arm
their
trying to tap yourself in the back.
Yeah, no, I've heard that.
I never heard that one.
People are like, I'm off drugs. You're an asshole. You're not supposed to do drugs anyway, okay? Don't fucking break your arm tapping yourself in the back, asshole. So, right or wrong, these motherfuckers walk around with their water. I'm sober now. Who gives a fuck? 2 months ago you were sucking dick for rock at the Roxy. Now I gotta fucking shake your hand. Fuck you. Motherfuckers don't know, you know what I'm saying? So I got off coke. I had been off coke like 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days.
Yeah, that was tough for me. I used to go like 18 hours, and I'm like, ooh. That's a long fucking time, I was clean for 4 days, and a dear friend of mine died. She was a comedian. She died of cancer. And there was this one producer that used to mess with us all the time here in LA. He would have these festivals and tell us that he was going to book us and then decide, oh, no, I'm not hiring dirty comics this year. Why would you have to work so dirty? He'd make us feel bad about being dirty comics. We were just expressing who the fuck we were, you know what I'm saying? So, I saw him then. He had messed with me and Marilyn a couple times. And I saw him at the church. Right, I saw him at the church, but it was 10 o'clock. I was a little on the stone side. I said, I might as well not say nothing to know. Sometimes you do a bong hit before church just to calm your nerves. Sometimes just 1.5, just to, just to loosen you up before church. And, because church sucks without a bong hit. Trust me, that's why it sucked as a kid. Once you started doing bong hits, church ain't that bad. It's a fucking hour, people.
I don't smoke, but I do know what it is to be sober in church, and that shit is a blow.
Oh my god.
No pun intended.
Oh my god.
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there?
Yeah. Yo, give a like for the bars, man. Cav always got the bars, trust me.
But yeah, what about you?
I never went to church high, but I should have.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I should have went to church high, but yeah, church is, especially as a kid though, like
Oh my
church
God,
is.
bro. You
Oh
just
my
hungry,
god, bro.
sleepy,
Yeah,
and aggravated.
yeah,
You
man.
heard 20 songs, especially if you black. You basically had a concert. You basically had a church concert. You got the church groupies, your aunts and your moms, catching the Holy Ghost for Jesus.
Catching the that's they twerking. They
That's they
catch
twerking.
they catch the Holy Ghost.
Throwing it back with
Hell
Jesus.
yeah.
It's just insane, man.
Pastor got the oil.
Pastor got the
Fucking-
oil. He
Yo, real shit. Have you I've seen a pastor dip his hand in the holy oil, whatever, right? And then like he nudged like some lady, and she had like these heels on, and she dead
and
ass
she fall
fell.
back.
Yeah,
I see that shit.
that shit is lit, man.
It's-
Like if I could be a pastor for like just a couple
It's-
weeks,
yeah.
I would just be nudging the fuck out of.
It's entertaining. It could be entertaining too.
Yeah.
Just watching that shit.
Loosen you up before church. And, because church sucks without a bong hit. Trust me, that's why it sucked as a kid. Once you started doing bong hits, church ain't that bad. It's a fucking hour, people shake hands, they give you a cookie, everybody,
Yeah, they have free
peace
food.
be with you, you know what I'm saying? Right or wrong? Peace be with you, brother. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. So, that night they had a memorial at a comedy club, and when I walk into the memorial, well, they had free food at the memorial, they buried it that day, but they had like a microphone, they had a picture where you're gonna go up and say words, then they had free food. When I walk in, guess who's eating the fucking free motherfucking food? That motherfucking producer. Now, by that time, it's after 8 o'clock, the cocaine addiction is growing, I'm getting madder by the minute, I'm Cuban, it's just developing, right? And they come over to me and they go, listen, we did a memorial, can you go up on stage first? And I'm like, absolutely, and I'll get my words over and I'll get the fuck out of here. So I go home and go to sleep before I choke this motherfucker too, right? So they said, Joe, come into the stage, Joey Diaz, I go on stage, people, you know me. I talk for like a minute, and this motherfucker's over there with that smile on his face. You know when somebody's got like that smile on their fucking face, and in the middle of my memorial, I just stopped. And I go, I don't know what the fuck you're smiling about, motherfucker, you know? But I tell you what, I'm gonna go get a drink, and when I get back, you, your wife, and that fucking attorney better get the fuck out of here. Because I'm gonna fuck you motherfuckers up. And I was serious, Jack. I was fucking serious. Like, I was done. Like, 7 days without a line of coke. This motherfucker, this is my out. I'll beat him up. And then fucking they'll throw me in county jail for 30 days. By the time we got out, I'll be clean and sober. I mean, that was my fucking... That's how you gotta think when you're fucking addicted, how I was, you know?
Crazy.
But I was really pissed about what this motherfucker had done to me and to Marilyn, and how he had the balls to show up at this fucking wake with that smile on his fucking face. And as I went to the drink and I came back in and him and his fucking family were gone, when I walked to my car, I thought about one thing, that I'm through. I did what I had to do. Without even knowing, I stuck up for one of my friends who had died. And that night, I became that much better as a human fucking being. I made my peace with Z, I made my peace with my mother, and most importantly, I made my peace with myself. And that's my story about that.
Right.
Amazing, man. Amazing, yo. Like, I think once again his story has came back around. Like the one with the nun, where he started to be his parents. Remember with his mom was fighting the nun, and then he was fighting like a dude in Colorado in front of his daughter and stuff like that. I mean, not fighting the nun. They was fighting. They was fighting
taxi driver.
Yeah, the taxi driver. My fault. Yeah. Once again, the story came 360 all around, man. And like, yo, this dude is so good at storytelling, man. And he's funny too, man. It's nothing he doesn't.
Man. Telling his life story, no shame in it. Just that's what I like. That's what I like. I'm hearing people like him and Tyson too. You gotta watch their interview together. Mike Tyson, like him and Mike Tyson, they just talk about that shit. Like shit that you'd be embarrassed. You'd never say like, oh, I did coke or I did this. They just be out with they shit.
Yeah, yo.
Which I respect.
Yo, guys like that, they definitely people I look up to. You know, like is like blatant with it. They don't give a fuck.
Facts.
You know.
They've been through a lot. You can tell. My son been through mad shit.
Yeah.
Trust me, I can tell.
And we don't even know 10%. That's like this guy.
You can just tell.
Yeah.
You know?
So shout out to Joey Diaz, man. He's definitely creeping up in my top tier. You know.
Right.
So yeah.
We out.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like I told like them. I'm from a small hood in Marcy. I come from a project. I come from nothing. Like people were very poor. That's where I came from. And to be not only a star in your neighborhood, and to be a star